Are you asking yourself why you have so much anxiety and fear of failure? Is that keeping you from achieving your goals and having more peace in life? Trust me, these are normal feelings and there is a lot you can do about them. So first of all, I want you to pat yourself on the back for recognizing that these are problems in your life. That's a sign of emotional intelligence. The very fact that you even know that this is something hitting you puts you in a rare breed. There's a lot of us that just suppress all of this and ignore it. So, congratulations, you're on the right track. Once you recognize this, this becomes something that you can turn towards. Typically, when we're feeling anxiety and fear, our natural reaction is to retreat. We run from it physically, we run from it mentally, right? So the moment that you recognize it's there, you are in that space of gazing upon the very thing that's causing you a problem. This is the door of opportunity through which you get the wisdom and the power and the ability, the tools to overcome this anxiety and fear in your life. So stick with me. This is how we do it, right? Now, thing that we need to understand, this is step 2, is that our relationship to the concepts of anxiety and fear are faulty. We have been taught we don't want to feel uncomfortable. We don't want to feel these emotions. We stay away from them because when we have an experience, a fearful experience that is really painful, it informs our body of a way to react and interact with that space. And so when other things cause that feeling to ignite within us again, we run, we avoid, we don't want to experience it. Let me tell you this. Comfort is the enemy of all growth. Your opportunity to feel that anxiety, to feel that fear, is your greatest opportunity for growth. I love to hike in the mountains. And when I go on hikes in the mountains, if it's a steep mountain, there's one here, it's Mount Olympus. I think it's 4 miles up, maybe 3.5 miles up. And it's, I think, 3,000, 3,500 feet elevation gain. So you're getting 1,000 feet of elevation gain per mile, which is quite steep. And I'm not going to convert that into metric for you right now because I'm just not feeling up to it. But that's a steep climb. It's like climbing stairs. And it burns when you climb. Your legs burn. And you could give up and say, you know what, this is painful. I don't want to do it. But when you get to the top of that mountain and you see the view, it's breathtaking. And all of the pain is worth it and it melts away and you feel great, right? That's what your fear and anxiety are. They're just your hike to the top of the mountain. And if you can learn to accept them as your friends, not things to be shed and avoided and ignored and out of your life. People always say, I want to get fear and anxiety in my life. No, that's like saying I want to cut the brainstem out of my head. Because that is the source of your fear and anxiety. It is the essential survival mechanism in your body that you can't get rid of. It is going to be there the rest of your life. How you choose to deal with it is what will make it ease down and become your friend. When you look at your anxiety, I love to look at my anxiety as my periphery, the thing that allows me to sense my space, to know how to move, to sense a room, how to engage. And I listen to it as a friend would. This is a warning sign. This person is going to be scary. This is a warning sign. This person might judge me for this. You let all those things go. You listen to them. And as you listen to them, the neurosis of that anxiety will dissipate because you can say, this person may not like me. I think they might be mean. And then you look at them and they smile at you and you go, okay, so I am thinking this in anxiousness. And here's the reality of this person over to my right smiling at me and I'm being scared. My reality is I can let my anxiety down. I don't need to worry. Your anxiety is there to inform you, to engage with you. Your fear is the same. But if you don't listen to it, it stays heightened and consuming. If you begin to turn towards it, invite it, accept it, recognize it's there, give it voice, it will dissipate for you and leave you with the wisdom that it had to offer when you were feeling it in that moment. So move towards your fear and anxiety and listen to them. Quit trying to ignore them, shed them, and run away from them. The fourth thing you want to do is act on one small thing that you have the courage to do in the space that you're in. Maybe your anxiety and your fear are so significant that you cannot take on everything at once that you have to do to overcome what it is that you need to face. So start small. Act on that one little piece that you can change. Incrementally change yourself. When I first started hiking in the mountains after, years of just kind of doing nothing and getting overweight, I struggled. I couldn't go very far, but I just incrementally kept going and going and going. And next thing I knew, I could run to the top of a mountain. It took me a while, but I just kept going. And it changed the nature of how I move up a mountain because I kept at it. You can do this with fear and anxiety. You just have to have the courage to act on one thing that you know you can do. Don't take it all on. It's too much if it's too much. Just take on what you can. With that, you can overcome all of these issues that you face with fear and anxiety. Make it your friend and overcome incredible things. I'll tell you, really, for me, what was most significant was when I was building my coaching business. And it was probably a couple years ago. I had a talk show and I was interviewing people that I thought were really, really impressive. And I was fortunate to have guests that just blew my mind, that all of their accomplishments. And I had this guy on, his name's Dave Austin. And he's a coach that coaches all sorts of professional athletes, musicians, he's presidential candidates. This guy has been in circles and places that are just incredible, right? And so here he is on my talk show and I get to interview him and I'm talking to him about how he became a coach. I just got into that conversation. We just start talking about it and he says to me, James, he said, at one point I had a record label that I was managing. I was consulting on the side. I was coaching some stuff and he had some other side hustle. I can't remember, it was publishing or editing or I don't know what it was. He had all these things he was doing. He's like, and I was hustling and doing all these things because I was so anxious about making all the money that I needed to make to support my family and do the things that we wanted to do. And he's like, and then I realized one day, I'm a coach. And I'm doing all these other things because I'm not convinced that I can make my money that I need to coaching, but I really just want to be that. And he quit doing everything else. And he started coaching, just coaching. And here he is, this guy that I admire, and I'm amazed, and I think, wow, I wish I could be like him. And I'm hearing what he's saying to me. And as I'm hearing him talk to me, I'm thinking, I got this talk show, I'm consulting, I'm working as a coach, I have another side hustle doing this other thing. Anyway, I was just like, listening to him and realizing in my fear, I have scattered myself everywhere. And I also wanted to be a coach. And I was scared to admit that I wanted to be a coach because I wasn't sure I could survive like that. But in hearing his story, I took a leap. I was already there. I was already doing it. So it wasn't that huge a thing. But I went full time into coaching. And do you know what happened to me? Doors opened to me that I never believed would open. They began to open to me and things happened to me that I never would have imagined because I had had the courage to face the thing I feared and take action. I hope that you can do that too with your anxiety and your fear, because if you do and make it your friend, you get to find the wisdom that it has to teach you and it will change the trajectory of your life. Stick around if this is of interest to you. I got a video coming up called How We Can Face the Future Without Fear. This might be an addition for you if you're really struggling on wanting to make a leap and do that thing that you're scared of. I'm James Burnham. Like, subscribe, follow. Thanks for joining me.